here. I feel like Google's like, talk to this person, talk to this person, to this person. The girl that was yesterday. Yesterday was my talking day. Today is my fucking gaming day. Fucking give me some motherfucking Deadpool and Wolverine.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
Look, lady, I'm not interested. Big bro. He's a grower. Like, bro. See, the thing is, they both have healing powers. Yeah, because, you know, the last Wolverine movie, you know, everybody died, including Wolverine. So, this is obviously a prequel.
We make for a third act flashback.
Story, giving what you give. Oh, fuck. Get what you deserve, like. Oh, that's claws grow. Oh my god, where's Blake Lively? I want to see Miss fucking Deadpool. Oh, they're not even gonna bring her.
You're up fast. We're about to get evil.
They are gonna show it in the preview.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Eric. Oh!
Prep time's over. Now you deploy to the war zone.
There you are. Head shed gave the green light. We're deploying you to the front lines. You're up. Grab your chutes. Rules of engagement are simple. Weapons free on all threats.
Let's get this done. Battle Royale. Gas is approaching on your position. Move to the safe zone. Enemies dropping into the AO. Targets in the AO.
Patience! Done and dusted.
Marvel completely messed up the fight scene in Avengers Endgame, and nobody even noticed. For example, with Thanos is fighting Thor, he's holding Stormbreaker, but in the next shot, he's holding the sword, and it gets even worse. He throws it into a tree, but that tree mysteriously disappears when Cap lands on the
Oh!
This ain't training camp. It's the Gulag, and you gonna have to fight to earn redeployment.
And once they start fighting, Ant-Man goes to fix the quantum tunnel in the van. But at the same exact time, only be seen a giant size in the background. But by far the biggest mistake Marvel made in Endgame was putting Captain Marvel in it. Did you know Marvel completely messed up the fight scene in Avengers? Nobody even noticed. For example, when Thanos is fighting Thor, he's holding Stormbreaker, but in the next shot, he's holding the sword. And it gets even worse, because a couple minutes later, he throws it into a tree. But that tree...
Oh.
Try. Time to head back to base.
It can be seen fully prepared later when all the...
Valiant effort.
And once
Keep
they
your head
start
up.
fighting,
Return to base for debrief.
Goes to fix the quantum tunnel in the van. But at the same exact time, you see this giant size in the background. But by far the biggest mistake Marvel made in
Moving.
Captain Marvel in it.
Hey, Peter Parker.
I think that the Anunnaki and some of those ideas, that's just the Sumerian version of like the Genesis.
Fucking Sumerian.
I mean, because that's exactly it, though, right?
Yeah.
Sumar.
They have their own narrative of the fallen angels. Right, sure. It's Star People or it's the Anunnaki or whatever. But the Anunnaki, like one of their things was gold mining.
Well, I think it's interesting, right? Because gold's interesting. From a technological standpoint, if you ever look into what gold does, it's fascinating, right? You actually need gold for technology. It's part of some of the more advanced technological things we do. There's these enlightened travelers. Really, it's a story of the Watchers, right? It's these Elohim, as the Bible says, these angels, just a job title. When they fell, they taught humanity, and the Bible talks about this, so the book of Enoch. They taught humanity to use technology, how to build, how to do metalworking, how to do architecture, how to cut roofs. And there's a whole list if you go down through it. And that exists across cultures, right? And so a lot of these cultures then replaced Yahweh, replaced God, and put their Elohim, or in some cases the serpent, at the top of the totem pole.
I think that the Anunnaki and some of those ideas, that's just the Sumerian version of like the Genesis 6 event.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it, though, right?
Like
Because
every culture, they have their own narrative of the fallen angels.
Right,
Sure. It's Star People or it's the Anunnaki or whatever. But the Anunnaki, like one of their things was gold mining.
I think it's interesting, right? Because gold's interesting. From a technological standpoint, if you ever look into what gold does, it's fascinating, right? You actually need gold for technology. It's part of some of the more advanced technological things we do.
You know, this whole YouTube experience is kind of really interesting. Solely on the fact of the matter is that it's almost like I'm preserving my consciousness at a certain time, you know? Which is kind of like really far out, but yeah. It's interesting. Like, you know, it'll almost be like reviewing myself at certain time
Use this
points. I
time
guess
for
that's
some
like a
target
diary,
practice.
right?
Real things coming soon.
Oh, this is
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. All stations, this is Shadow 01. Deployment to the war zone has been authorized.
Let's get this shit done. We got the green light. You're going to the war zone. Grab your gear and shoot. You're up in 3. Enemy activity will be high. Expect contact early and often.
French soldier wrote about this experience in American soldiers in
Let's get this done. Battle Royale.
The Americans were fully committed to their best. They came prepared for the situation. In fact, they couldn't ask.
Be advised, Gas is closing in. Proceed to the safe zone.
Area
Be advised, cash drop is inbound.
amazing fact, different than all other. If an officer is killed, it's hard to dig in and take a defensive position. Not the American. If an American officer is taken out of position, they go on. American officers are trained not for their protection, but for defense. Kill or injure an American, they are coming. And God help you. Most of us tight. We are coming to get you. There wasn't any haggling or logistical issues. The Americans were fully committed to the rescue. They came regardless of what the situation was. In fact, they wouldn't ask about specifics when they got close to your position, and often used threats in the area before asking.
Bounty contract here.
You're losing ground. Move it. Hunt down the enemy.
You're taught to dig in and take a defensive position, not the Americans. If an American officer is taken out of position, they go on. American officers restrain the troops under their command, not for their protection. If you kill an American, they are coming. And God help you if they are. How are you different from Europeans? In Afghanistan, there was a
Bounty targets are up. Get after them.
French soldier wrote about the news of American soldiers in Afghanistan. If a unit was in trouble, you prayed that an American unit took up the radio call for help. When American forces answered, their reply was, "Sit tight. We are coming to get you." There wasn't any haggling or logistical issues. The Americans were fully committed to your rescue. They came regardless of what the situation was. In fact, they wouldn't ask about specifics until they got close, and often knew the threats in the area before asking what they were. He also described an amazing fact, different than all other forces. If an officer were killed, you're taught to dig in and take a defensive position, not the American. If an American officer is taken out of commission, they go on the attack. American officers restrain the troops not for their protection, but for the enemy. If you kill or injure an American, God help you if they are. How are U.S. soldiers different from European soldiers? In Afghanistan, there was a common French saying, "You better pray that you have an American in your unit." A French soldier wrote,
During the reign of the Empire, the Imperial prison barge Purge breaks down in a desolate part of space. In search of parts to make repairs, Captain Garrett Sartoris, along with 10 Imperial soldiers from the Purge...
Does that like this vibe where it's like, oh my god, let's go again. Hey, you ready for round two? Like,
there are signs of a massacre, but no bodies. As they are heading back to the Purge, the soldiers all start coughing and vomiting violently. They head to the Purge's medical bay, where their chief medical officer, Zahara, begins to treat them. She discovers the virus activates when enough cells are infected and realizes they're all going to die. However, she doesn't get sick and realizes she's immune. She begins working on an antidote using her own blood. During the reign of the Empire, the Imperial prison barge Purge breaks down in a desolate part of space. In search of parts to make repairs, Captain Garrett Sartoris, along with 10 Imperial abandoned storage only to find it deserted. However, they soon find something isn't right on the ship.
come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby. Yeah, buddy.
As they are heading back to the Purge, the soldiers all start coughing and vomiting violently. They head to the Purge's medical bay, where their chief medical officer, Zahara, begins to treat them. She discovers the virus activates when enough cells are infected and realizes they're all going to die. However, she doesn't get sick and realizes she's immune. She begins working on an antidote using her own blood.
You got a loadout drop inbound.
The Empire, the Imperial prison barge Purge breaks down in a desolate part of space. In search of parts to make repairs, Captain Garrett Sartoris, along with 10 Imperial
Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone. We lost that sumbitch. Bounty contract's been pulled.
However, they soon find something isn't right on the ship. There are signs of a massacre, but no bodies.
Most wanted contract here.
Back to the Purge, the soldiers all start coughing and vomiting violently. They head to the Purge's medical bay, where their chief medical officer, Zahara, begins to treat them. They discover the virus activates.
There's a bounty on your head. Eliminate enemies and secure supply caches to get rid of it.
However, she doesn't get sick. She's immune. She begins working on an antidote using her own blood. Captain Jarrett Sarkois, along with 10 Imperial soldiers from the Earth, or an abandoned Star Destroyer, only to find it deserted.
Gas is closing in.
Something isn't right with the ship. There are signs of a massacre, but no bodies. As they are heading back to the Purge, the soldiers all start coughing and vomiting. They head to the Purge's medical bay, where their chief medical officer, Zahara, she discovers the virus activates when enough cells are infected and realizes they're all going to die. However, she doesn't get sick and realizes she begins working. In a desolate part of space, in order to make repairs, Sarkois, along with 10 Imperial soldiers from the Earth, abandoned the Star Destroyer. However, they soon
Fuck, that was
find
cool.
something isn't right with the ship. There are signs of a massacre, but no bodies.
So when I was driving, the analog stick just stopped working because it got shot out. But I can still fucking go forward, which is really cool.
Your squad
But
mate was eliminated. Most wanted contract failed.
where am I?
However, she doesn't get sick and realizes she's living. She begins working on an antidote using her own blood. During the reign of the Empire, the Imperial prison barge Purge breaks down in a desolate part of space. In search of parts to make repairs, Captain Jarrett Sarkois, along with Imperial soldiers from the Purge, board an abandoned Star Destroyer, only to find it deserted. However, they soon find something
buddy. Yeah.
there are signs of a massacre, but no bodies. As they are heading back to the Purge, the soldiers all start coughing and vomiting violently. They head to the Purge's medical bay, where their chief medical officer, Zahara, begins to treat them. She discovers the virus activates when enough cells are infected and realizes they're all going to die. However, she doesn't get sick and realizes she begins working on an antidote using her own blood. During the reign of the Empire, the Imperial prison barge Purge breaks down in a desolate part of space. In search of parts to make repairs,
Oh!
Crime and punishment.
They soon find something isn't right with the ship. There are signs of a massacre, but no bodies. The soldiers all start coughing and vomiting violently. They head to the Purge's medical bay, where their chief medical officer, Zahara, begins to enough cells are infected and realize they're all going to die. However,
And that's
Oh
all they
my
wrote.
god.
A well-earned redeployment.
Holy
bonus.
shit.
Back.
You did it.
Okay, lady.
If the building sways too much during wind, the people inside will get motion. Sways too much during an earthquake, and
You got gas moving in. You're the target of a most wanted contract. Eliminate threats and secure supply caches to close it.
every object is definitely a bunch of technical guys. At the top of the structure, and you see the moment the mass campers wave around. And as the building one way, the ball these things buildings that have Type 101. So if you're running Android today or Apple they don't look good. Call 75. They resell that data, your data, to advertisers. For advertising ID, it follows you even if the phone is switched off or if you're in airplane mode, it's still pinging Wi-Fi, still pinging towers, it knows exactly what you're doing. I said to a couple of buddies of mine, that it's not subject to the norms for being if you've ever heard of Pegasus, it's an offensive cyber virus used for hacking purposes. We got it built that protection. We'll deliver the first 500 units next month. It's our hardware, it's Android based, but it's all our code, our files, not made in China, supply chain not coming from China, with our operating system with our own store, antivirus, VPN, and secure messaging. kill switch. We have to turn this phone off. Separate this, it separates the electronics from the batteries, so that's off. Analyzed or resolved. Encryption can be heavy fault, you know, shit. So if you're on Android today,
Bollocks!
For fuck's sake.
Fuck.
Be advised, your squad mates down. Most wanted contract failed. War is hell, and you're in it. This is the Gulag, where you fight to win redeployment.
You can see it in their eyes. But Michael Jai wanted a bunch of shit. Yeah, he had a bunch of Kyokushin fights. Michael Jai White, he has perfect technique. Perfect. There's a bunch of demonstrations of him kicking online. The chain on the heavy guys at the gym at college. Even with Timbo.
War's for the Warriors, and you're RTB. They hit us hard that time. Let's regroup and get back up there, yep?
U.S. citizens. In late 2020, 6 guns armed with AK-47s raided Philip Walton's farm in West Africa and demanded money. The attackers tied up him, his wife, child, and brother. It looked like he might be lost in Africa. The Pentagon deployed surveillance drones. Then they deployed SEAL Team 6, an aircraft carrier with moved closer, ready to provide air cover. U.S. drone base in Delta was on standby with Team 6 from Germany. They parachuted down and surprised. A short gunfight started. And by gunfight, I mean kidnappers got a hefty dose of lead, and 6 of them were neutralized. The USA once again demonstrated why it is not worth targeting or kidnapping U.S. citizens. In late 2020, 6 gunmen armed with AK-47s raided Philip Walton's farm in West Africa and demanded money. The attackers tied up him, his wife, child, and brother. They had other things for Philip that looked like he might be auctioned in Africa. The Pentagon deployed surveillance drones. Then they deployed SEAL Team 6. An aircraft carrier was moved closer with jets ready to provide air cover. Back at the U.S. drone base, the Delta Force team was on standby with 4 Black Hawks and 2 gunships. Team 6 flew from Germany. They parachuted down and surprised the kidnappers. A short gunfight started, and by gunfight, I mean kidnappers got a hefty dose of lead, and 6 of them were neutralized. The USA once again demonstrated why it is not worth targeting or kidnapping U.S. citizens. In late 2020, 6 gunmen armed with AK-47s raided Philip Walton's farm in West Africa and demanded money. The attackers held him, his wife, child. They had other plans for him. It looked like he might be auctioned in Africa. The Pentagon deployed surveillance drones. Then they deployed SEAL Team 6, an aircraft carrier was moved closer with jets ready to provide air cover. Back at the U.S. drone base, the Delta Force team was on standby with 4 Black Hawks and 2 gunships. Team 6 from Germany. They parachuted down and surprised. A short gunfight started. And the gunfight, I mean kidnappers got a hefty dose of lead, and 6 of them were neutralized. The USA once again demonstrated.
It took me 8 years to realize that there's an easy way to deal with the Corsair in Fallout 4. Usually, to take care of him, you have to engage in combat. But there's a much simpler way to handle it. To unlock this option, you need to go to Mama Murphy before meeting the Corsair and help her enhance her psychic abilities. To do this, you'll need to provide her with the substances she asks for. After a while, she'll have a vision related to this quest.
Hey Siri, cancel the alarm.
Gear up fast, we're about to get evil. Enemy soldier incoming.
For real?
Prep time's over. Now you deploy to the war zone.
There we are. Word came down. We are green to go. So gear up, grab your chutes. We're going to the war zone. Enemy activity will be high. Expect contact early and often.
I'll see you on the other side. Battle Royale. Gas is approaching on your position. Move to the safe zone.
Yes, they decided to...
Be advised, cash drop is inbound.
For 5,500 miles from the state of Maine to Alaska by simply cutting the price of the forest. This deforestation is also known as slash. The dividing line is also marked by monuments. There are about 8,000. All this is done in order to have a physical marking. For example, during a hike, the person who is identified. The slash is maintained by the National Council. It's also
Eliminate all targets in the AO.
militaries, making the border between the USA and Canada the most undefended. But you can't easily cross the slash there. Residents of the USA and Canada only cross the border through checkpoints. Did you know that most
Gas is moving.
Yeah, they decided to mark the longest line.
Oh, come on!
Reports of tornadoes in the area. Suddenly, at 50
Climb and punishment.
the engine of his F-8 Crusader jet stalled, causing a fire warning light to show, even though he tried everything to save his plane. The jet was beginning to nosedive. There was no other option than the jet, but as soon as he ejected, he was instantly caught in the storm's strong updraft. During his fall, he had to face freezing temperatures.
And that's only a rope. A well-earned redeployment, soldier. Stand by.
Most wanted contract here.
There's a bounty on your head. Eliminate enemies and secure supply caches to get rid of it.
Another Toronto home invasion targeting this white BMW in 4 in the morning and parked outside their home. And these target and they're right in front of the house to try to break in. You can see them walking out.
Girl, what you doing? What you doing?
You got a loadout drop inbound.
You even go in here? Oh, that's so cool.
Gas is inbound, marking a new safe zone. Failure ain't fatal. It's just an opportunity to do better. Your squad the contract failed. Gas is closing in.
The story starts off with a group of angels known as the Watchers. These angels came to Earth and mated with human women, and this unholy union resulted in the biblical giants we know about in the book of Genesis. Check out my full video.
Said your prayers yet?
What would happen if Russia tried to take Alaska today? The U.S.'s response would change everything. Let me explain. While Russia is a lot closer to the...
You may have seen this image floating around the internet and thought, well, it's been a good run. At least I don't have to pay bills anymore. I mean, it's really easy to understand why the public and headlines would absolutely panic looking at this giant coronal hole in the sun. It's about the size of 60 Earths laid side by side. It's directly facing towards Earth, and it's spewing large amounts of solar winds right at us. But as scary as it looks, thankfully, nothing has happened yet. There wasn't another Carrington event, which if you don't know, it was the most intense geomagnetic storm ever recorded in history all the way back in 1859. But that's not the last time that a giant geomagnetic storm has hit Earth, and it certainly won't be the last. Now keep in mind that the sun still isn't at its solar maximum. That's coming sometime in 2024 and 2025, and seeing a coronal hole this size could be a warning sign.
Check your gear and weapons. We'll be deploying shortly.
You may have seen this image floating around the internet.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
It's really easy to understand why the public and headlines would absolutely panic looking at this giant coronal hole in the sun. As of 60 Earths laid side by side, directly facing right at us. But as scary as it looks, thankfully, nothing has happened yet. There wasn't another Carrington event, which you don't know, and it's the
Oh!
But that's not the last time that
Playtime's over. Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
Gang's all here. We got the green light. You're going to the war zone. Grab your gear and shoot. You're up in 3. You are cleared hot on all threats. Watch your ass down there.
Let's roll. Battle Royale. Gas is closing on your position. Suggest you hightail it out of there. dropping into the AO. Eliminate all. Gas is in.
No sign shall be given to it except
Crime and punishment.
Say that, well, that's the sign of the resurrection. But could it mean something else? Take a look at the context. What's the context? That you saw the face of the sky, but you cannot discern the sky. If you don't interpret it, what is it? Something in the sky. Everyone say, look up. So what happened?
Target down. Stand by for redeployment. You earned it.
Not only that, there was a great earthquake reported in Amos 1:1 and it occurred in 760 BC. Get an eclipse, get earthquake and a quake. Get an eclipse, get earthquake and a quake. That's the sign of Jonah. So what's the sign of Jonah? We need to read this. Jesus said twice, by the way, Matthew 12 and Matthew 16. No sign shall be given to it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. He said it's the sign of the resurrection, but could it mean something else? Take a look at the context. What's the context? The previous verse. Jesus said, you know how to discern the face of the sky, but you cannot discern the sky. So what's the sign of Jonah? If you don't interpret it, what is it? Something in the sky. Everyone say, look up. So what happened? In 760 BC, there was a great volcano that went over the sea, and specifically went out of the sea. But not only that, there were two plates that preceded the solar eclipse and followed the eclipse. The two plates are recorded in Assyrian history in 765 BC and in 760 BC. Not only that, there was a great earthquake recorded in Amos 1:1 and it occurred in 760 BC. Get an eclipse, get an earthquake and a quake. Get an eclipse, get an earthquake and a quake. That's the sign of Jonah. So what's the sign of Jonah? We need to read this.
I can hire you for $4,999 for 1 hour of coaching. Why are you worth that? How did you come to that number?
Only the buyer determines that. I came to that number because I was booked too much. When you get booked too much, you need to raise your rates. I also believe the person who pays a ton of money is so vested in hearing what you have to say, they're so ready to do it that you're not getting normal resistance if there was $1.99. When you set your price at $100,000 an hour, you're going to attract a certain type of person. What kind of buyer do I want to attract?
I can hire you for $4,999 for 1 hour of coaching. Why are you worth that? How did you come to that number?
Only the buyer determines that. I came to that number because I was booked too much. When you get booked too much, you need to raise your rates. So
Fuck you.
Hear what you have to say, that you're so ready to do it that you're not getting some.
Nice one.
When you set your price at $100,000.
Need mid-caliber rounds.
What kind of buyer do I want to attract?
I can hire you for $4,999.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
Why are you worth that? How did you come to that number?
Only the buyer determines that way. I came to that number because I was booked too much. $100 an hour. When you get booked too much, you need to raise
Gas
your
is moving in. New safe zone located.
money. Is so vested in hearing what you have to say that you're so ready to do it that you're not getting the normal resistance if it was $1.99. When you set your price at $100,000 an hour, you're going to attract a certain type of person. What kind of buyer do I want to attract?
I can hire you for $4,999.
Okay, you just.
You for $4,999.
Why do 80...
You won't be moving far with that leg. We'll examine you thoroughly back in the lead.
It's the boy.
Move aside. We have no quarrel with you. Very nice. Oh,
You got gas moving in.
But I apologize for the house.
you won't be moving far with that leg.
How's that?
But we'll get those sumbitches next time.
Why do 80% of all Americans live east of this line, while only 20% occupy the western part of the United States? Even more, the majority in the West live in California, Oregon, and Washington within this line, accounting for 11% of all those living in the West. Thus, only 9% of Americans live in half of the mainland of the U.S., which is equivalent to the population of New York City alone. Why is that? The main reason for this is geography, especially the Rocky Mountains that stretch across the entire country and act as a natural barrier to the rains coming from the Pacific Ocean. They are so high that they prevent the clouds from passing into the center of the country.
And absolutely horrific Mississauga carjacking happened at a gas station. This family was absolutely terrified. You can see the father here spilling gas for his car. His entire family's inside, his wife and his children. And this criminal comes with no top at this gas station, tries to take the vehicle right off the bat. Now the owner, the father is struggling with him. You can go ahead and see he's got him in a headlock. His wife now comes out to take the children out of the back seat to protect the children. You see the children are now running outside. The father is fighting with this criminal. The wife is now trying to go ahead inside and now call the police. You will see she will get her phone to call the police while her husband is wrestling with this criminal. The poor children are there over to the right. They don't know.
Where'd you get that fucking footage? Damn.
My dad wears this chain around his neck with this monkey holding this one mountain in his hand. And I used to ask him, Dad, what's that about? He's like, Hanuman is this kind of Indian mythology. And if you go to a gym in India, you'll see Arnold Schwarzenegger, the bodybuilder Ronnie Coleman, and Hanuman. And he's like, he represents mobility and strength and courage. He's very similar to like Superman in the sense that he splits his.
We're headed to the war zone. Get geared up and stand by.
Yeah. Finally, wow. I just had to wait for someone to be AFK, and It's true though. It's true. I had to wait for someone to be AFK. Today.
All stations, this is Shadow 01. Deployment to the war zone has been authorized.
So that was scientists just discovered a black hole.
There we are. Word came down. We are green to go. So gear up, grab your chutes. We're going to the war zone. Enemy activity will be high. Expect contact early and often.
Let's get this done. Battle Royale. You got gas closing in fast. Unass yourself to the safe zone. Cash drop inbound. Enemies dropping into the AO. You're clear to engage all targets. You're losing ground. Move it.
Scientists discovered a record-breaking black hole pretty close to Earth, and researchers who discovered it say that I've discovered that only made once in their research life. It's a type of black hole known as a stellar mass, and it was created when the stars were red and black. Now, one of the essentially largest stellar mass black hole that we discovered is 33 times more massive. missed, at the moment in the Matrix, when Neo actually starts to see his Matrix, Scarface is a massive number of black holes all over our galaxy. But as we look for them, the question becomes, just how close are they? Scientists just discovered a record-breaking black hole pretty close to Earth, and the researchers who discovered it say that it's the kind of discovery that's only...
I'm not sure Americans have like or the tolerance for what it means to fight war. 1941 in the Olympic infamy, we were attacking Pearl Harbor. It finished with us dropping 2 nuclear bombs on a people that would submit. And if you get behind a blade of grass, and you come onto the Japan, you'll find somebody fighting to protect Japan. Like to find Hiroshima. You're like, are you done? Find Nagasaki. No, are you done? Then we won that war, right? In Europe, as we pushed into Berlin, it was absolute destruction, carnage of everything. Early 1945, late 1944, it is destruction and epic.
You're the target of a most wanted contract. Eliminate threats and secure supply caches to close it.
1941 in the Olympic infamy, we were attacking Pearl Harbor. It finished with us dropping 2 nuclear bombs on a people that would submit. That is, behind every blade of grass, when you come onto the motherland of Japan, you'll find somebody fighting to protect Japan. Right? Find Hiroshima.
You have a buy station inbound.
No, you done? Berlin. It was
deployable buy stations ready.
I want this really bad.
Early 1945, late 1944. It is destruction in epic proportions. There's no moral equivalence. You're trying to win a war. There's no. That's it. Or the tolerance for what it means to win a war. 1941, we were attacking.
Loadout drop headed your way.
Just dropping 2 nuclear bombs on a people that submit. Behind a blade of grass. Come on. What do you think you're gonna do? Get shot. Yeah.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
That's gonna help me understand. Like, how could I help? Can I be a crossing guard? I think so. Yeah. Straight to gold. It's gold. As long as I could dance, and I could look real good. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna have jobs. I think that's. I don't know if we're gonna have jobs. I think there will be things that we do. We will do. Is there poop in heaven? That's the question. That's actually a really question. That it was a Bible study. I was in middle school. Really? And someone said, "Poop in heaven." They said, "Well, I don't know if I kind of enjoy pooping, so like maybe it's like every good and perfect gift." Dude, I've been to the hippie hospital. They compost their poop and they grow veggies. That's the watchers gave them that knowledge. Just, hey, don't flush that. Really, that's a little. What do you think you're gonna do? In heaven? Yeah. Do her. Yeah, I'm doing a gig. I mean, what kind of?
Yo, hello?
That's gonna help me understand.
Hello?
Gas is moving.
Crossing guard? Yeah, straight to gold. It's gold. As long as I could dance, and I could look real good. Yeah, I don't think I don't know if we're gonna have jobs. I think there will be things that we do. We'll do. Is there poop in heaven? That's the question. That's actually really good. The Bible study.
Most wanted contract closed. Sending a supply drop to your location. Well earned.
That's the watchers gave them that knowledge. Just, hey, don't flush that. Really. Yeah. Do her. Yeah. You're in a gig. I mean, what kind of service do you understand? Like, how could I help? Could I be a crossing guard? I think the goal. As long as I can dance, I can feel real good. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna do that. I think that's the price. I don't know if we're gonna have jobs. I think there will be things.
For fuck's sakes.
Hey, I'll let you revive if you don't kill me, alright? Alright?
Why? What do you want? You can't go up there. There's no exit up there. There's no window up there.
Dude, I've been to that.
I don't know where the fuck I'm going.
That's the
Why did we do this? You should have just killed me. I'm gonna die anyway. Yeah.
Training camp. It's the Gulag, and you're gonna have to fight to earn redeployment.
Change a scene for the international version of Captain America. In Germany's version, audiences saw something completely different. It was the scene when Cap makes a list of things he missed out on after being
Crime and punishment. That's how it's done. Ready up for redeployment.
I unboxed super powerful.
Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
Yeah, don't feel threatened or anything. He pulls out this big dagger, curved, but they had to double tip, which I've never seen. And I'm just smiling.